Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and I share a lot of travel tips and tricks and reviews and things like that on this channel, but I also share a little bit about being a travel agent, questions that I get about being a travel agent, and just general kind of entrepreneur trips. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. Now today, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I am going to share some things that you need to know as a new travel agent. So how this started is I recently posted a big win that I had about hitting 1 million in sales this year, and I started getting a lot of questions from new travel agents like how I got from starting to here. And so I'm going to read a few of those questions right now and answer them here. And so hopefully, I have been responding to people who have been asking me the questions. I just thought maybe I could reach a few more people this way. So let's just go ahead and get started. The first question that I've gotten more than once recently is how do I get leads, or where do I get the majority of my leads? And honestly, most of my leads come from my website. I have my own website. It's not with a host agency or anything like that. It is mine. I set it up before I even started, and I get most of my leads from there. Most people find my website either through Google searches or through Pinterest. And then I get some leads from social media as well, particularly Instagram, but most of it is just through my website, and then also my Google business page, which that's totally free to make. So I recommend that anyone just starting makes a Google business page because people can find you immediately, even if you're brand new. The next question is if I pay for any marketing, and the answer is no. I would say never, but that's not quite true. When I first started, I was about 2 months in, I did a bridal show, and I was a wedding photographer before I got into travel, and I had done 2 or 3 bridal shows then, and they were all just failures. And I did a bridal show immediately after starting in travel, and it was just not good. I got 1 booking from it. It was a small booking, and they kind of were a hassle because they kept changing their minds. They eventually canceled, and so I made no money. No money from that bridal show. It was a waste. Otherwise, no, I don't pay for any kind of marketing, and I never have. The third question is which vendors and suppliers I use, and while I understand why people are asking me this question, I don't think that asking me which vendors and suppliers I use is really going to help you, because you may not book the same things that I do. So I primarily book Hawaii, the Caribbean, and Mexico. So I book with Pleasant Holidays a lot because they carry all 3 of those destinations. They're particularly great with Hawaii, and that's what I do the most. I also do a lot of sandals, which I just do direct through sandals. So Pleasant Holidays, a ton of bookings I do with them, sandals, and then I also use both Project Expedition and Viator to book excursions for all types of locations. That's not to say that all that I book is Hawaii, the Caribbean, and Mexico, because it isn't, but that is the vast majority of what I do, and Hawaii is definitely my specialty. However, if you are a cruise travel agent, knowing that I book a lot with Pleasant Holidays isn't necessarily going to help you. You should just sign up and take the trainings with, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Disney, all of those things. My next question is, do I do this full time? I've had a lot of people ask me that lately, and I do. As of the 1st of this month, when I started, I still had my photography business. I was still doing that full time for a couple of years. A little over a year ago, I started outsourcing almost all of it, where I was hardly doing any of the actual photos, but I was still doing the client communication kind of behind the scenes. And then I sold my business on October 1st. So I am full-time in travel now. And I also, when I started, I also was doing some VA work, which I've stopped doing a couple of years ago. So yes, the answer to that is yes, I am full-time now. But I didn't start that way, and most people won't start that way. Most people will do something else and do travel on the side. I had another question, is what's your best advice for a new travel agent, or what's helpful for a new travel agent to know? And in my opinion, there are 2 things. One, your friends and family are probably not your clients, and if they are your clients, they might be really, really difficult. Now, maybe you're lucky and you have great friends and family who aren't going to be like that, but you might be surprised. A lot of people are just not going to book with you because they don't know you as Amy, the travel agent. They know you as whatever your name is, their cousin, and so maybe they're not going to book through you. I've never had any friends or family book a big trip with me, ever. And I've done a few small trips here and there, but I really don't book for friends and family. Even though they travel, they don't call me, and that's okay. So you need to be okay with that going in. They may not book with you. You just have to be okay with that and not take it personally. The other tip that I would give is that being in travel is a lot of hard work. It sounds like fun, and it can be, and I really, really, really enjoy it. Of all the things that I've ever done, I enjoy this the most by far. But it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work, and I think you don't necessarily see that if you're following a travel agent and they're posting photos by the pool. Like, that's not what we do most of the time. It's a nice perk, but it's also not what we do all the time. A lot of the time we just wait on hold. So it's mostly, the job is mostly waiting on hold. So I hope you enjoy that or have something else to do while you're waiting on hold. The next question that I get, and I'm going to do an entire video about this, is do travel agents get to travel for free? Not really. As a new travel agent, are you likely to travel for free? I'm going to make a whole video about this, but the answer is yes. You can. There are going to be some free opportunities, but for the most part, no. And not until you've really established yourself in the agency. And I know people talk about FAMs and everything. I'm not invited on FAMs very often, and I sell quite a bit of travel. And I think some of it is like this post-2020 stuff. I think FAMs are just starting to come back, but at the same time, you're not going to qualify for the really great FAM trips, which is a familiarization trip to get to know a destination better. You're not going to really get invited to those, most likely until you've made some decent sales. So the short answer, and I'm gonna make a video with the long answer, is that you can travel for free as a travel agent, but don't get into it for free travel because you'll be really, really disappointed. Ooh, that lighting is really bad all of a sudden. The last question that I'm gonna talk about today is social media and using social media. I've gotten a lot of variations on this question. Do you use social media? What social media do you use? Do you market on social media? Do you blah, blah, blah? I use social media. I primarily use Instagram. I have a Hawaii travel tips group, which I've been trying to grow for a long time, and it's just like completely tanked. Not everything that I do is a success by any means. I have a page that I share things on Facebook. I don't get very many leads from it very often. When you're choosing your social media platforms, you need to think about where your clients are. And the majority of my clients, not all, but the majority of my clients are millennial honeymooners. And the majority of the time it's a woman doing the trip planning. And so Instagram is a really good place for me. That's not to say that that's the only place I'm going to be. Like I said, I get most of my leads through my website, but I would say almost exclusively all of my leads from Instagram are millennial women going on honeymoons. Almost all. Not entirely, but almost all. So yes, you should be on social media, but you need to pick what you know or what you like or where you think your clients are going to be. You don't need to do all the things when you start, because that's going to get overwhelming and you're just going to want to quit. So I hope that those were helpful. If you liked this, if you could give it a thumbs up, that would be amazing. And if you have any other questions, I do answer all of them. So please leave them in the comments below. If I get a lot of questions, I'll go ahead and make a part 2 for this video. And then hopefully next week I will come out with a video on traveling for free. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would give it a like and maybe even subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.